So let's bring in CoinShares Chief Strategy Officer, Meltem Demirors. Meltem, it's always great to see you and to speak with you. I mean, it was a down day for crypto today. It does seem like a lot of folks were pointing to the possibility of profit taking, given how strong the run-up in Bitcoin and Ether and some of these other coins has been in recent weeks. What do you attribute it to?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you alluded to some of it. There's certainly been more negative headlines. Today, President Biden did sign the infrastructure bill into effect, which obviously has a number of provisions related to cryptocurrencies and taxes. But really, if we look at the fundamentals, which is what we do at CoinShares, really what we saw is overnight $1 billion of liquidations across a number of different venues. And the markets, as you've alluded to, have had a really strong run. We see firms taking profit, positioning around the end of the year. And, you know, number doesn't always go straight up. It's normal in cryptocurrency to see 10 to 15% corrections from time to time as people take money off the table and adjust for the next leg up.
Joe, what's your take at the moment in crypto and the volumes that we're seeing there and what it means for the likes of Coinbase, no less?
Well, I think to a certain extent, it takes the temperature of the speculative fervor within the market and really gives the determinant as to how investors are feeling about being invested overall in risk assets. And I think it used to be that maybe gold or some select commodities or some of the currencies were the proxies for that. But certainly now I think it's cryptos overall. I also think at some point there is going to be a consolidation phase in cryptocurrencies where ultimately it'll be Bitcoin and Ethereum that will come out on the other side of that and reside as the winners. I don't think we're yet at that cycle, but I do think that's something they have to think about as we move towards 2022. And I think that's probably bullish overall for each Ethereum and Bitcoin.
Meltem, do you feel like crypto investors don't even flinch when they see a 5% pullback, even a 10% pullback? Is it a different style of investor compared to the old school stock investor where they are used to those amounts of volatility?
Absolutely. Volatility is part of the price of opportunity here. The other thing I'll add is despite some of the volatility we've seen recently, we've seen 13 weeks of consecutive inflows into crypto exchange traded products. And last week we did hit a new all-time high, 83 billion in global AUM and crypto ETPs, of which less than 2% is the ProShares futures ETF. So there's a lot of capital that's being deployed into the crypto space. Goldman Sachs just today came out with a new report, $5.5 trillion of dry powder or investor cash sitting on the sidelines. You know, we were just talking about S&P hitting new all-time highs or closing a few basis points or half a basis point away from new all-time high. I think as investors look across the landscape, this is a risk-on market. Obviously, everyone's watching the taper, everyone's watching inflation, everyone's looking to see what Fed policy will be. But generally, that 5.5 trillion has to go somewhere. And increasingly, we're seeing those inflows being allocated into crypto, not just the assets themselves like Bitcoin and Ethereum, but also crypto equities, over $110 billion in market cap in pure play crypto companies like Coinbase, our firm CoinShares as well. And I think that trend will continue as we continue to see investors allocating across equity, across debt, interest rate products in the crypto space and the assets themselves. So generally, sentiment continues to remain very strong. And again, there's still so much allocation that is being made, is in the process of being made. And firms are raising 9-figure, 10-figure dollar venture funds to deploy into this sector. It's a very interesting trend and doesn't show any sign of slowing down.